Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to Adama McKola TV. Hope you guys are all doing well. A very select few of you, the ones that clicked the vid early, would have just seen me do my intro miming. That's because I forgot to turn on my mic. But nevertheless, we are live. I am here in Germany, in Stuttgart. Yes, I'm here in Stuttgart, Germany. Don't worry, I'm not having a jolly. I'm not on holiday. I am here for the Mercedes-Benz Junior Cup 2020, where teams like Manchester United, RB Leipzig, Rangers, Rapid Vienna, etc. will be taking on each other in like a five-a-side tournament, which is pretty competitive. I've seen the likes of Nicky Butt, Hannibal Medjbury, Harvey Neville milling around the hotel ahead of that tournament. But right here, right now, it's me for the Wolves against Manchester United preview. Now, I know I'm here in Germany and I'm not there in the Midlands, in Wolverhampton, but Full-Time Devils will still have you covered for that. If you're worrying about, yo Mac, who's going to do fan cams when you're on? Full-Time Devils will still have them covered. Don't worry about that. We're just going to bring you a little bit extra content this weekend as we are here in Germany for the Junior Cup. So, how are you guys been getting on? Manchester United Wolves up next, and after getting beaten by Arsenal, Manchester United fans are all feeling very nervous about this one. Now, I think we'd feel nervous about it anyway, because of the simple fact that Wolverhampton Wanderers have a pretty decent record against Manchester United. They have a good record against us. Obviously, we got a point there this season when Pogba missed a penalty and we could have won that game. But before that, they beat us a few times. They've beaten us in the league, they've beaten us in the cup. They're a pretty decent outfit, especially at home as well. Nuno Esperito Santo's got them playing great football. They've got some very good players in that team when you're looking at the likes of Ruben, Neves, Jiminez, two players that would absolutely walk into our midfield. And then up top, they've got the likes of Raul, Jiminez. They've got a very good team, Adama Traore in there as well. So it's going to be a difficult game, this one, Manchester United against Wolves. But nevertheless, it's an FA Cup game. It's a cup game. Can we get it on? Can we get through into the fourth round of the Cup? Obviously, we're into the semi-finals of the Cup in the League Cup, and that could see us get to a final. We got City next up, so that's going to be difficult. But this campaign's already started with a difficult draw. I wouldn't be surprised if many Man United fans were counting us out already, or maybe even hoping for a replay, which shows you where we have fallen. But we need to go there and we need to win. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done his press conference and he's already pointed out that there will be a few changes to this team. Now, Sergio Romero's destined to start this game. Mason Greenwood is also going to start this game as well, according to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So we're looking at a change at the back in that goalkeeper position with Romero coming in, and of course up top in one of those front three positions with Mason Greenwood coming in. Now, obviously, Anthony Martial and Jesse Lingard went home with illness today, so they're unlikely to be involved in this game as well. So with Scott McTominay, Pogba out, we've also got Martial and Lingard out. Now, Lingard hasn't been in great form, so probably not a massive miss. Probably wouldn't have started this game either, with Andreas Pereira likely to come into the team for him. But Martial is a big miss for Manchester United. We know that. Pogba, McTominay in that midfield area, big misses. And when you're without your main number 9, when you're without your two main central midfielders, any team's going to have big problems. But a team like Manchester United, with the lack of depth that we have, is going to have big problems with those injuries. And we are seeing that now. Axel Tuanzebe is set to make a return, which is good news. We've also seen Eric Bailly, Tim Fosu, Mensah, Diogo Dalot and Marcus Rojo. Sorry, not Marcus Rojo, but Diogo Dalot, Tim Fosu and Eric Bailly edging back towards a return. But the illness in the camp is going to cost us Lingard and Martial by the looks of things. And yeah, I'm worried about this game. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be watching it. We'll be back in time from the tournament, the first day of the tournament. It's a 2-day tournament out here in Germany. We will be back in time for the game, so I will be tuning in. I will be doing a reaction video here on Adama McKola TV as well, so you'll get to see all that. But I am worried about this game. I really am worried about this game, and it's no surprise either, especially when you look at where we are. What is your top priority, says Advay? a cam or a DM, so a central attacking midfielder or a defensive midfielder. I think we need a defensive midfielder more than we need an attacking midfielder, but we need both. We need a number of midfielders in that midfield, that is for sure. As long as Lingard doesn't start, we have a chance to Shoaib. A little bit harsh, but Lingard has been in poor form, so I can understand where the stick is coming from. I just, I'd tend to do it a little bit classier. We can win, but we could also lose. That is Manchester United now, unfortunately, says Michael Corleone. And bang on, mate. We all went into the Arsenal game. Well, I say all of us. I don't want to speak for you, but me particularly, I went into that Arsenal game thinking Man United were going to win. I really did. Thought we were going to win. We didn't. And now I'm going into this game thinking we could lose, but we could very easily win this match as well. That wouldn't surprise me at all. We will hunt the Wolves down, says Bash Gaming. Martial's out. We're finished, says Raz Al Ghul. Mo Wada says just play the kids. If we lose Rashford or Martial, we could get relegated. Jeez. Abdullah Al-Thani with the first super chat of the day. Thank you very much, Abdullah Al-Thani. Nice little amount. Mate, genuinely, I opened them because I got asked to open them. I don't like asking you guys for money. So when you do send it in and support the channel, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Abdullah. What do you think about Boubakary Soumare? I heard United were linked with him. Boubakary Soumare. He's played for Lille. Plays for Lille. That's what I do know. I'd have to Google the rest about him. Young player though, at 20 years old. It's the kind of player we're in for. We even got linked to, what was the other fella? Gedson Fernandez. We got linked to recently. And they're all around that same age, aren't they? Very, very young players. And it's good to see us getting linked with those kind of players. Now, Boubakary Soumare, 20 years old, born in 99. Good year for some. French midfielder. Is he going to join United? Probably not. He's made 17 appearances in the Liga this season, which is good for him. Lille are a side as well. They're recovering from having sold a fair few players. And now they're trying to rebuild again. And they've slowly been doing it as the season's gone by. They're fourth in the league now. Excuse me. And obviously, young talent is going to be linked with us now. Boubakary has been linked with us in the last few days because Real Madrid are in for him. And United's name has been tossed into the mix with that. Tottenham's name has also been linked with his as well, thrown into the mix. So that's interesting too, that he's being linked with all these other players, teams, and then United get dashed into the mix. The same thing happened with Gedson Fernandez. He got linked to United. Now all of a sudden he's about to join West Ham. All very interesting. Some may say agents are using United's name to smoke out interest. And I'm sure if Gedson Fernandez does join West Ham, we'll hear about how he rejected Manchester United. Zahir says, don't understand why a Premier League club hasn't gone and got Soumare yet. Probably because he's still 20 years old. And what you'll see is teams will scout them for a very long time. And if no one else is interested or making a bid, they'll leave it as long as possible, especially for someone that's 20 years old. We need an entire new team, let's be real. The team is just not good. I tend to disagree a little bit there. I don't think we need an entire new team at all. Look, David De Gea has made mistakes, but we've got a number one goalkeeper, Sergio Romero, Dean Henderson, Joe Pereira coming through and behind them. I think in goal, we're covered pretty well. I think when you go further down the field, you look in defence, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Tuanzebe, Lindelof, Brandon Williams. It's the start of something. It needs a few signings to accommodate that. Midfield, we need a whole host of signings. We know that. But in McTominay, Fred and Pogba, if Pogba stays, it's not too much of an issue. Further forward, Martial, Greenwood, and of course, Daniel James and Rashford. We need 2-3 more names added to the mix. So with 4 or 5 signings, we've got a decent team. I don't think it's a whole team we need. Just 1 or 2 signings in certain positions to help us bring through some of these younger players. And there's obviously still massive question marks over the manager as well. I wouldn't have Lingard and Shaw washing the boots, says Red92. Michael Kennedy with another super chat, just giving this emoji. Thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate you, mate. Gab says start Brandon Williams. See, not just going to read out the super chats, but I do appreciate you guys. Bash Gaming says, Adam, I know you don't like Declan Rice, but I would take him, he says Bash. I've not got a problem with Declan Rice as such. I've not got a problem with him. The problem I have is when people start talking about 90, 100 million. If we got Declan Rice for 30 million and we could work on him, and maybe there's something there, but 40 millions, sorry, 90 millions, not too sure. Abdullah with another super chat. Did you hear what happened with United and Flex? What's your opinion on all the abuse fan channels are facing? I don't know what's happened there. Firstly, I don't know what's happened. I haven't been on social media much today, if it's happened today. What's your opinion on all the abuse fan channels are facing? The reason fan channels face abuse, we're not helped when you have proper ranty bollocks. Like, you see all that shite coming from some of the Arsenal fan TV lot. You know, fan channels are all bunched in together. They're all like them. They're all like Arsenal fan TV. We're not. That's one of the things I try not to be, you know, overly ridiculous and embarrassing. I try and have good, reasonable debates with people, whether they're negative or positive. They can be positive or negative as they want to be, but letting someone be vicious that's not very great. So I can understand why that part of it gets criticism. What I would say is, if you stand in front of a camera, I've been doing this for 6-7 years. I get criticism every week. I get called a cunt every week. I've had people come up to me not every week, but occasionally, moaning about what we do. And ultimately, they're fans' opinions. They might not like what we do, but if you get in front of a camera and have an opinion on something, I've always thought it's my opinion to do that. So in return, you've got to expect there will be some negativity and there'll be some positivity. You'll receive love, but you'll also receive hatred. But I think what's happened is you've obviously got Arsenal fan TV who get all the numbers, and they're the biggest fan channel out there, quite clearly. And because at times they're so AIDS and they're so like ranty and ravey and arguey, and they give platform to people like, what's that geezer name, DT, like, it becomes ridiculous. But if you look at Arsenal fan TV at the start, do you remember the one when they lost one of the first games of the season and they had that guy come out blaming the board? That was what that was there for. So I think most fans agree that fans should have platforms to have voices. I think some just disagree with how they are used, and then you have people that come on and think, I just want to go viral. How best can I go viral? And I suffer from that at times, because people expect me to be like what they see on Arsenal fan TV, or to be like what everywhere else. But that's not me. That's never been me. I get emotional about football, but I always try and see the best in something, even if it's not there. That's just me personally. But you'll have people on the channels that are different. And I think a lot of people can't separate channels from one each other. They just all think they're the same. When really you have to sit back and think, is the Sun the same as the Guardian? No. The Sun's the most popular selling newspaper. Is it the most respected? No. So that's how I live my life by it anyway. I don't think anyone, deserves stick, but you're always going to get it when you step in front of a camera. I've had it. I think it's something you kind of got to take with a pinch of salt, and I've almost learned to do that. If it's new to some people, you'll find it hard to do that, but then you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. I really do. Full-time Devils as only Adama McKola. No, we don't. We got Steve. We got loads of people. And we've got people that just appear one time as well, which is always good. That's what it's about. It's about regulars too. You want to see Steve, you want to see Andy, you want to see me every week. But also it's about the people that don't normally come on. And they usually give you the best ones because they've come there with a reason. Another one from Abdullah, who's absolutely going in today. Abdullah, thank you very much, mate. We don't have attacking fullbacks. Our fullbacks are invisible. We need fullbacks that attack, like Robertson and Arnold. Wan-Bissaka's fantastic, needs to improve going forward. Luke Shaw's not good enough going forward. I still think, Defensively, there's not much difference between Williams and Brandon Williams, between Shaw and Brandon Williams, but Brandon Williams will improve. I don't think Luke Shaw will. In your heart of hearts, Adam, do you think we will get anyone in January, says Red92? If I had to predict that now, I'd say no. What are your thoughts on Fabio and Ruiz? I've not seen enough of him, Gov, so I can't comment on that one. We have Williams and one solid back at the back and one much better going forward. Shaw's not good enough, says Carey or Carey. Opinion of United scouting and spotting talent in the opposition, says Michael. We always wait too long, don't we? Or until a player's moved on or gone elsewhere. It doesn't help that we've been chopping and changing managers so much as well. I love Abdullah. I got no problems with Robbie. I like him. But he's very shrewd and he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He's not silly at all. I think United will not sign players in January or board is a joke, says Ilya, who's always one of the first in the comments as well. We can sign people outside of the transfer window, says the United man. So the fact that we don't have anything sorted just shows a high degree of incompetence. Unfortunately, what's your thoughts, United man? Is that the United man that's also on Full-Time Devils sometimes? If so, how you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. Yeah. So let me see again the question. We can sign people, and that's what frustrates me. People act like we can only do one deal at a time, or we can only sign players when the window. Why couldn't we get a player prepared for even the summer? Even if we said in January we've made this signing for the summer, I'd be happy. We've got no forward thinking, no forward planning, no competence at boardroom level. That's the problem with Man United. Josh says good stuff as always, Adam. I hate fan channel stuff, but definitely. Thank you very much, Josh. I appreciate it. If we don't sign players, then the Glazers and Ed need to go. They needed to go yesterday. They needed to go yesterday. Thoughts on Maddison and Grealish, says Josh. Take both of them in a heartbeat at United. Take them like that. Like that. Carrie, who you talking to, mate? I'm not sure you're talking to about Sweden and this, that. Do you believe getting proper midfield signings would urge Ole to change his tactics against a low block? Yeah, better midfielders, better defenders, better midfielders and better number 10s would help us. We got 10s that aren't creating, 10s that aren't scoring, so they're not really doing anything for us. And our midfield's threadbare. Our midfield shot to bits. Our midfield isn't good enough. And it's massive problems. Like, I feel like Ollie hasn't helped himself. He's made mistakes himself. He's got some things wrong. I totally agree with that. And I totally believe that. But he's also been let down by the fact that our squad isn't very good. But some might say the only reason he's in this job is because the squad isn't great. Because if you have a stronger person in place, you know, would you have stronger players? Sorry, if you had a stronger squad, would you have the same manager? I don't know. We need to sign James Maddison, end off. The thing is with James Maddison, Jackie Grealish, we're not getting him this January. We're going to have to wait. The Invisible Kev says, Adam, what's up with you and Steve? Always freezing to death. Go get yourself some proper jackets. I have yeah. I have a decent North Face. It's just that. It's cold out there. Most of the time, it's my legs that are cold. So I'll be wrapped up here. But then I'll just have jeans on at the bottom. So the wind will be battering my legs. And I'll be freezing. Steve, I can't talk for him. He's got enough fat around him to keep him warm, for fuck's sake. Unlike me, I'm skinny as hell. Which one available player would improve the team most if signed in January? Which player is available? Michael says, can you get an interview with RVP? That would be great. I'm working on a few new interviews. The last one I got was who was the last one I got? Henrik Larsson. We did film the Jesse Lingard one before the Henrik Larsson one. But because of various things we had to release that later. So the Hendrick one went out first. That's why the Chippy Chat series was named by Jesse Lingard, because his one was filmed first. Keeping it real, like Ian Beale says, the champion. I like that one, mate. Get the long johns on. This weekend, when we went to Arsenal, actually, so you know when you get pyjamas for Christmas? I rarely sleep in pyjamas. I sleep in boxers. So pyjamas for me, pointless. But what I did was put the pyjama bottoms under my jeans. Stops you from getting kegged. And it's good for the warmth. I'd like to speak about the Pogba situation. People defending him and slating Ed Woodward for not selling him in the summer. But you know, Pogba signed a 5-year contract. He has to shut up and play. We shouldn't have sold him in the summer. But also, I think, look, it's a hard one. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Look, it's clear that Pogba probably feels he's been let down by the board. He probably feels he's been let down by the club in terms of, he probably expected to have won or be challenging for the big trophies by now at Man United, and he was probably promised that when he signed. That hasn't come. So I totally get it that he would be upset with that and possibly think, I want to leave to win trophies. But then, when you don't get your move, you fully commit yourself. You're getting paid. You play for the fans. Now, there's a school of thought that he hasn't been doing that. And I like to take things as I see them. I don't read The Sun and that. I don't read all these bullshit newspapers. So I don't let rumours try and affect my brain. I try and see it from what I've seen. Now, I am sick, like Elia, of talking about Pogba. But I want Pogba to be at Manchester United. I want him to be. But there is that thing. Look, he's going for an operation now, which puts it away. But I'm not going to lie. When he wasn't in the Arsenal squad, I started to fear the worst. Is he taking the piss? Is he doing this? Is he doing that? I started to fear the worst. But he's having a fucking operation with the Euros coming up. Like, I don't think if he wanted to get a transfer or he wanted to play in the Euros and play for France, he would be doing this. So I do think it's a genuine injury. And people talk about us getting when the club announced he was injured and said he'd be back in 2 weeks, and then they use it that because he wasn't back then and then we delayed it again, they use that as an example of why he's leaving, or he's not really injured, he's pretending to be injured. The same thing happened with Scott McTominay, you know. Ollie said Scott McTominay would be back in a few weeks. A few weeks later, he said he's back in 3 months. So really, Ollie needs to take responsibility, you know, for being honest, or even if he's being honest, for maybe being a little bit sceptical when he's telling people how quickly people are coming back in. Because he's got a few wrong now. He's got a few wrong. And whether that's the board or the medical, sorry, not the board, the medical staff or him getting it wrong, they need to sort that out. Golf Bandicoot says, cheers Adam, I got to head out now, but I'm going to try and head down to the competition in Stuttgart tomorrow. Maybe see you then. Yes, if any of you guys are about Stuttgart, the Mercedes-Benz Junior Cup 2020, I will be there watching the games and watching all the Man United players in action. Remember, Ronaldo wants to leave. We made him stay. We reached the Champions League final. What a professional, says Abdullah. That is the professional that we want to see in the team. We all need to give Pogba the talk of rest. He's not playing. Stop blaming him for our downfall. Rooney said the same thing about the squad being terrible. Yep, he said we should have signed Ozil. Remember that? Guys, let's imagine Timbo stepping up and being the strong midfielder we've been looking for, says Invisible Kev. Absolutely false, who mental. I feel there was a sense of him spitting his dummy out. That being said, I don't feel like will be with us beyond the summer. Yeah, I agree, United man. I don't think he'll be here beyond the summer as well. Gaz, thank you very much for your comment. Appreciate you. Let's get back to talking about the game. Wolverhampton Wanderers against Manchester United coming up very, very soon. Not long to go now. That game is, of course, tomorrow. Unless you're a few hours ahead of me, then it will be today. But The game's coming up thick and fast. Man United against Wolves. Now, with this game coming up, it's a difficult one. We've lost there a few times in the past. We should have won there this season in the league. We didn't. We've got no midfield. I am fearing the worst. I'm absolutely fearing the worst. What team would have started in this game? So we know Romero's going to start in goal. Then we've got Brandon Williams at left back. Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back. I think he's going to go with 3 centre halves. Maguire, Lindelof, Tuanzebe. Then we're going to see Fred, Matic, Andreas, Rashford and Greenwood. That's what team he's going to start. He's going to go with a 3 centre halves. So Romero in goal, Tuanzebe, Maguire, Lindelof. Wan-Bissaka, Brandon Williams as the fullbacks, wing back. 2 central midfielders, Matic and Fred. Andreas Pereira, Rashford and Mason Greenwood up top. We already know Martial's out with illness. He left training earlier today, as is Jesse Lingard. Axel Tuanzebe is nearing a return, I read in the United website. So if he is out like Mo Wada says, then we'll probably play a 4 at the back. Ilya thinks we need to play a 4-3-3. Have we even got 3 central midfielders? I think that's been the issue for the most of the campaign, is we just haven't got 3 central midfielders at all, which is pretty abysmal. Axel is out, yeah, so I've read them ones. 2-1 United, man says it feels like it's going to be. Is that to United or Wolves again? Yeah, guys, do what the champion says and smash that like button. Don't cost a thing. So get hitting that like button. Get subscribing to Adama TV. Thank you to the few that have sent in their super chats today. And thank you to the rest of you that have kept your comments coming in. Like the champion, like Mo, like the United man, etc, etc. Zakaria says, I don't know how we are going to do it, but we need to start winning games. January could be crucial. Could easily be out of all competitions. Only have the Europa to play for. It is a big month coming ahead. It is a big month coming ahead, Zakaria. I totally agree with you. Fatigue's going to catch up with us. Ollie got no depth, playing the same team every game. Says Scott, yep, he's not helped by the lack of squad, is he? But then he keeps saying he's happy with it. Now, I know you can't come out and bollock players all the time, but you can't lie either. We ain't winning, says Jacobs, and the United man thinks we're not winning either. Abdullah Dani's come in and said, what if we sign a striker? What will happen to Greenwood? And if we sign a CM, who would you leave out of the squad? If we sign a striker, I think Greenwood should be used on the right as an alternative for Daniel James. If we sign a central midfielder, there should be a first choice that can go into midfield 3 with McTominay and Pogba, or Fred and Pogba, or into a midfield 2 with McTominay and then play Pogba further up. There should be a first choice though. Central midfield, we shouldn't be signing squad players. For me, Fred and McTominay should be our 3rd and 4th choice. For me, in my opinion, they should be our 3rd and 4th choice. If McTominay and Fred were our 3rd and 4th choice midfield, I'd be buzzing. You know how good that is? And then you have Pogba and another. That'd be great, but we're not in that position right now. Interesting, Bash Gaming mentions Timo Werner. I was speaking to some German people because this tournament's organised by Mercedes-Benz. I was speaking to some people from Mercedes-Benz today, German watchers of football, and they were saying they don't think Timo Werner is going to leave Germany. He doesn't. When they've met him and when they've spoken to him, he doesn't strike them as the kind of character that would leave Germany. Now that could be wrong, and the Premier League money could be very, very lucrative and very, very luring. But interesting to see how they look at it from this side of the pond and this side of things, how they look at their players. United man's doing the watch along with Jay tomorrow, so make sure you check that out on Full Time Devils as well. As the fan phone in, we'll have live reaction here at McKola TV. Fan cams coming up, plus loads coming from the Mercedes-Benz Junior Cup out here in Stuttgart. So thank you very much for tuning in to McKola TV today. There's been loads of super chats. I think it's been a record for McKola TV. So thank you to every single one of you that have sent those in. Make sure you keep it like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, comment, share. And for now, oh wait, before I go, what's this from Busby? What's with the anti-Martial agenda? From some of you folks, Who's got an anti-Martial? Send them my way. Who is it? Who is it? Tell me. I'm going to phone them right now. Who's got this anti-Martial agenda? Who said that? Busby. I'm going to phone whoever it is. So tell me who it is and I'm going to cost them right now. Alowani Femi says, hey Adam, what's up with the full-time Devils? Looks like I need to be hiring new people. Some people say they want the same old people. Who's been ripping Anthony Martial? Who's got this Anthony Martial agenda? Anti-Martial agenda. Or is it Anthony or Anti? Who? Steve. Did you say Steve? Let me phone Steve. I'm going to clear this up once and for all, guys. I am the president of Martial FC, so we're sorting it out once and for all.
Hello.
Mr. Stephen Alson, you are live on Adama McKola TV. Please do not say fuck or bugger.
Oh, fucking bugger.
Thank you very much. Someone just commented on the video saying you have an anti-Martial agenda.
How?
So I'm calling to sort that out. Make sure you don't.
I have an anti-Martial agenda. What I have said is that I have a good feeling that I think he's going to go. Because I've got a good feeling he's going to go.
He ain't going nowhere. What are you talking about, Steve?
This is my feeling.
He knows how much I love him.
Mm-hmm.
So why would he go?
I don't know. Just a feeling.
It's the only thing keeping you in Manchester these days. Is my love.